Hey guys, hope everybody's doing well. I've got my video lined up here. Today I'd like to discuss meditation, which I've been meaning to do for quite a while, but didn't seem right for some reason, and I guess I just had to formulate some of my opinions a little bit better. But I've got a good handle on things here at my notes. Today the weather is not great. Well, it is great. It's exactly what it should be. And it leads me to a thought that I had this morning. How do I describe this? So, for the last week or so, before the last few days, the weather's been perfect. We've had all of our family coming down to hang out with us. Everything's been great. But there's a little bit of chaos because we're in a small camper and people were camping on the lawn, and things are a little bit hectic when it's like that. As much fun as it is, it's still a little bit hectic. You know, extra dogs, the whole deal. So not extremely restful. A lot of fun and a lot of grounding and a lot of swimming and a lot of great things, but not restful. So a few days ago, our daughter decided to go back to the house and hang out by herself for a little while to get some space. She took one of our dogs with her. My son went back home. My sister and brother-in-law with their kids went. And I could see, I could see this lining up that there was something coming. The universe had something planned for us. So the weather took a turn where it's less likely that you're going to go out and do something. And I knew something was coming, and sure enough, something came. Amanda and I both have been purging. That's normally, in my limited experience with this, related to sacral chakra clearing. So look that up if you're interested. But purging is a great thing because it means you're moving energy through your body, and you're getting rid of old stagnant energy that's been sitting there for probably since you were a little kid, as well as clearing out toxins through a different modality than I spoke of yesterday with was it yesterday? Yeah, yesterday. So anyway, and then we had another incident, or I did, I should say. I decided to take Tilly for a long walk today. And she's 5 months old, so I've been working on some recall with her and different things, like leash pressure and getting her to recall back and trying to trust her a little bit. So we were up this remote woods road, no issues. Like, that's why I decided to do it. But for some reason, I didn't realize how close to the highway I was getting. And she was doing fine until she saw the highway and decided she wanted to go back and see her mom, which is Amanda. And now I know the universe has my back. I know nothing bad is going to happen to me or anyone close to me unless it's meant to happen. I know this. I feel it with every fiber of my being. I trust it. It still didn't matter. Because of us losing Bo not that long ago, it triggered something in me. Well, what if this happens? What if that happens? What if this happens? I recognized it right away, luckily, and I quieted it down, and I kind of gave myself a smile, and she walked down the highway. She played keep away. I tried everything to get her back. She wouldn't come. And then a lovely lady and a gentleman in a camper stopped. She went up to go see them, and she held a dog for me. So I recovered Tilly, and we took her home. And, you know, it didn't ruin my day, but my point is, on all of this, do I really trust the universe 100%? Can I shut off that what if this happens, what if that happens monkey mind? So I was able to, but it took a little bit longer than I would have hoped, and I didn't get drawn in like I would have before. But anyway, we're making progress. So that's today. You'll notice my thumbnails are getting quite a bit better. That would be thanks to my lovely wife Amanda, and she's been helping me with some of the graphic design, I guess you could say. She's already got a really cool looking thumbnail for this video. And it's a picture of my son at approximately 7 years old, who, for whatever reason, would often sit in the lotus position and pray. So I know why. I think I know why. I think a lot of people would believe me. But yeah, he just spontaneously started doing that. And I took that picture, and that's also the picture you'll see for the channel. So that's my spiritual little guy. So, meditation. What is it? What it is basically you've turned off the monkey mind. And if you haven't turned off the monkey mind and there are still thoughts popping up in your brain, it's your ability to stand back, look at them, and not be affected by those thoughts. That's essentially meditation. Now, praying is the Christian form of meditation. Sitting in silent prayer, quieting your mind, doing a rosary, this is meditation. It's the same exact thing. You're quieting the mind, you're trying to form a higher connection to God, which, as you should know by now, your higher self is a sliver of the divine. You are God, as the Hindus say. So recognizing that is enlightenment, and like recognizing it to the point where it pervades every single moment of your life is enlightenment. So it's as if you've tuned the channel to your higher self as high as that vibration can go, and it's a clear and open channel to your higher self. That's another way to describe it. You're in a state of deep rest where you're not depressed. You're in a state of deep rest. And it's a wonderful feeling if you've ever been able to experience it, if you've had the fortune of being able to do this. Now, people in society today very seldomly get this. And when you do find something that puts you even remotely on that path, you tend to be obsessive about it. Now, I know people who are obsessive about fishing, hunting, water sports, canoeing, kayaking, anything like this where you're in nature, because nature, by its design and in its natural state, has a higher vibration than almost every other environment you're in. So people get drawn to it. They get drawn to different activities that put you in that state where your mind is quiet. You don't know why you're doing it, but you think it's for the joy of that one thing, but it isn't. It's for the joy of having a friggin' quiet mind for once. So, the classic view of meditation is that picture in my thumbnail, right? Sitting in the lotus position with your hands in front of you, but that's not the only way to meditate. I never do that position. I try to work on my flexibility. So slow down here. Like, before I had my enlightenment and the Reiki session that I spoke of before, it would have been absolutely physically impossible for me to do a lotus position in the first place. Now I work on it and I sit in it as I can sit close to an actual full lotus position, but it still hurts. It's still an uncomfortable position for me. So I don't sit like that in order to meditate. If I were to do that, the pain that you're feeling and the discomfort is going to be a challenge to sit back and get into a meditative state while feeling that discomfort. So I don't do that. Shoot, I forgot to turn the fan off. Hang on. What I do is I sit in as comfortable position as I can get. Now, I have this little spot close to me that's down the coastline where we're at the camper, and I've built myself a little chair out of a granite boulder, and I've made a circle with quartz crystals around it, and I've put my conscious intention into it, and the water actually comes up in there every day to clear out anything. and it's a great place to meditate. But it's just a sitting position, as if you're sitting in a chair. It's the location and the comfort that is the key for me. So do whatever's the most comfortable. The shower, I often get into a meditative state in the shower with the water running over me. You can't do that for half an hour. You'll drain the entire tank of water. But, 5-10 minutes, it's a wonderful way to do it. And you're grounded at the same time, immensely grounded. I did it in the ocean the other day. I went in a full dead man float, as they call it. And I had the sun shining on me and the water was calm, and I just floated in the ocean with a completely limp body. And it's a very effective system for meditating. Unfortunately, when I popped out of it, I was like 100 yards down the coast. I had to swim back up, but it worked just wonderful. Now that's the concept of these isolation chamber flotation tanks with the Epsom salts. Those are amazing because they control the temperature. You can play music, meditative music. You completely isolated, that it's completely dark. You can go really deep in those things if you have. Well, I won't go into that, but that's probably a whole topic in itself. So my main meditation way, the main place that I do it the most and I've gotten the deepest is in bed. I have a grounding mat, a comfortable blanket. I'm warm, comfortable. It's a really soft bed, comfortable pillow. I take eye masks to cover my eyes, to keep the light out. Make sure you're not going to be disturbed. But that is a wonderful way to do it. I have had, like I said, I've had the deepest meditations doing that. Because you can control the outside influence on your body, which means you're going to less likely to get distracted. So at the men's retreat I spoke of earlier, same thing. We did a yoga nidra, or nidra. And now a lot of the guys, say half of the guys, were doing the lotus position because they're relatively experienced yoga practitioners. Some of us, a lot of us, weren't. So we just laid down. Now we did a meditation doing it in that position, laying down in a group that was designed to open your heart chakra. And I saw the brightest turquoise I've ever seen in any meditation that I've ever done. Now that's the color of the high heart chakra while doing a heart opening meditation. It was so intense, so bright. It was incredible. So how did I learn to meditate? So this is a wild story, but okay, so I had my 3-day enlightenment, then Soul Boot Camp started. Well, one of the first things that happened during Soul Boot Camp was I was shown how to meditate. And I mean shown, compelled, arms doing the things. Now, I spoke of how I cleared out the pain nodes and I would stretch. So when I would go to bed with Amanda, I somehow knew when she had left her body, which is what happens when you go to sleep, by the way. You raise your soul, leaves your body and goes off to do God knows what, and then the body stays there and rests. So anyway, I knew she had left the body, and then I got communication. That's the only way I can describe it. And it compelled me to do certain motions, and I was laying in the bed. And that's when I saw the pyramid that I had described before, with the indigo light outlining it and the beam of energy out the peak of the pyramid. I've also seen the yin and yang symbol in very, very sharp detail. And I've seen what looks like a figure sitting in the lotus position, but outlined in the back with a golden light around the outside of him. Now, I interpreted that and somehow already knew that was me. That's my higher self. So it's hard to describe unless you've seen this stuff, but it's realer than the real that we see in front of us every day. So So what can you do? What can you do to get deeper meditations? Eye masks, no disturbances, a nice warm blanket, earbuds to drown out the outside sounds, and whatever music or vibration or sound bath or activation or heavy metal, if it works for you, is fine. Play it. There is no rules here. Whatever puts you in a meditative state, play it. I have had some of the deepest meditations listening to Xavier Rudd play Fortune Teller live. That song with the didgeridoo, and it's incredible for me. I've always had that ability. I can blast music into my skull at the highest volume you can conceive of and concentrate better. I used to do this for work before I had even had my awakening. There are devices you can buy. One of them's called, I believe it's the Muse. I've never used it. Amanda has one, and she has used it, and she swears by it. It works really well. I don't know how much they cost. I have no idea. But, if you have the budget for it, try it. It might actually be the best way for you. So, some tips and tricks are breath. Concentrate on your breath. In and out. Focus on the breath. I often repeat in my mind, so on the in-breath and hum on the out-breath. I find if I have to tell myself to do that, it stops the monkey mind from getting too active. You're concentrating on something, but you're also going deeper and deeper into meditation. There's another trick to imagine yourself as a pair of eyeballs, not attached to a body. Like there is no body attached to you. Try it. Trust me. You can't think of anything when you do this. When you're visualizing yourself as a pair of eyeballs floating in space, and the body's not attached, you're just the consciousness. You can't think of anything. It shuts the brain off. Now, there are R.J. Spina's, it's called a meditation masterclass. He has amazing tricks like this. I'm pretty sure that's where I learned that trick. And it's not a very expensive course. Take it. I think it might even be free. Take it and you will learn how to do this. It's not that hard. Don't be intimidated. It's the easiest thing in the world once you learn how to do it. Joe Dispenza, which I have a whole story about Joe. I haven't met him, but I was at a resort in Mexico where he was hosting a conference. That's a whole story in itself and a whole video. He has a walking meditation. He has a bunch of guided meditations. His stuff is great. He'll get you in a meditative state very quickly. As I said before, being in nature is a higher vibration location to do this stuff. If you can do it on a beach or wherever you can be isolated and not carried away by mosquitoes, which seems to be the problem around here. That's why I'm often in the Tesla. But do it there. Under the stars is another great option. There's energy from these beautiful creations of God, the moon, the sun, and all of the stars. Without a doubt, you will do yourself a favor if you can find a location to do it there. How much should you do? At least once a day. I try to do a 30-minute meditation, which is very difficult to seem to find the time, even for me. So 10 to 15 minutes twice a day would be unbelievably helpful. Trust me. What I do is I aim for that. And then if I can get a longer one in, I'll do it. And I do the mini meditations that I described where I visualize the energy coming down my body and going down through my Earth Star chakra to the center of the earth, like through my crown chakra. I do that all as much as I can do it, which is a meditation, right? This is going to recenter you, and it's going to make you have a better day. So, like I just did one of these before I started the video. and my mind feels clearer, and I feel like I'm speaking clearer as well. It's not so scatterbrained. So do that. And then finally, there's breath work that, as far as I can think of for now, I know there's a lot more to this. That's what a yogi, an Indian yogi, does. His entire life is meditation. Everything they do, a Zen master in Japan, this is what they're doing. So any of these modalities are just ways to turn that monkey mind off and give you some reprieve. So do yourself a favor, try some of these methods, do whatever works for you, and come back to me and let me know. And I think that's where we'll stop today. So I've gotten a bump in my subscriber count, and it's another 30% increase. I'm up to 19 now, which just blows my mind that 19 people would even want to listen to me. But I'm enjoying this, like I said yesterday, and I'm going to keep going. And I appreciate you guys. I know if you've watched the video to this point, I know that you're serious about getting better, and you understand what I'm bringing here. It's a valuable thing, and if you go through my videos and you actually try these things, I swear you will feel better, and things will start to get clearer, and then you'll start making steps in the right direction even faster. So thank you to all my new subscribers. I believe they've come from some of the other YouTube channels that I like to watch, which are generally smaller creators. So I really do appreciate that, and it's given me the idea that I should search out these smaller people and subscribe to their channels, because I know I appreciate it immensely, and I'm sure some of us who are just getting started, we have these little channels. One new subscriber is a big deal. So anyway, that's where I'll leave it for today. So as I always say, I hope this video finds you well. I love you all, and we'll see you tomorrow.